Hey friends, welcome to What's Good in Your Neighborhood. I'm Lauren Nicole, and today I'm at one of my very favorite venues in the city, the Pikes Peak Center for the Performing Arts, and I get to talk with President and CEO of the Colorado Springs Philharmonic, Nathan Newbrough. Thanks for having me out here.
Thanks, Lauren.
I've never been on this side before.
This is a legendary stage.
This is pretty great.
I mean,
not
just
gonna
think
lie.
of all the people who have played on this stage, not just rock and roll bands and your favorite comedians, but you've got legends like Yo-Yo Ma, Itzhak Perlman, Joshua Bell, these enormous talents from the world of classical music who have performed right here.
Right here,
yes,
on this stage. I mean, my butt has sat right there in those chairs, but up here is a different view. I'm super excited to be talking about what the Philharmonic has going on this October. You guys are such an integral part of the community, and we love having such great talent, such locally available talent, I guess you could say. Can you tell us a little more about the Philharmonic to begin with? And maybe the work and integration with the community that you have.
I'll do my very best.
Fair enough.
We have to start with the musicians. The musicians of the Philharmonic, 77 of the most talented individuals that you'll see anywhere, and we have them right here in our own backyard.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Yeah, it's really shocking to imagine the kind of breadth of available talent that we have here, and they can play anything. And when we talk about what we're about to play, you'll notice it's anything. Right? I mean, there's a whole variety of music that's performed, and it's all delivered by the musicians of the Philharmonic. And so we have to start by recognizing and thanking them for making Colorado Springs a part of their life, and in many cases moving here from across the country or across the world to be and live here with us in Colorado Springs.
And I think if anybody's picturing like who these players are, like you might be surprised. We have all different ages up here on this stage, all different demographics. Like the Philharmonic, like really it's the talent, and the talent looks like, I swear, one of the kiddos that I say kiddos, this is probably a young man that will be annoyed that I thought he was a kiddo. One of the violin players last time, I was like, well, that's a young kid up here, like very surprised. But I mean, the level of talent.
Well, indeed, and there's such an exceptional wealth of gifted musicians that are coming out of the major conservatories every single year, and we just held auditions back in May and filled every available position, which is not something that I could ever say before.
That's amazing.
And so we're so lucky to be here in Colorado Springs right now. But let's talk about some of the great performances that are coming up.
What do we have coming up on the agenda soon, sir?
Well, we open the season in a few weeks with Beethoven's 7, with a guest conductor, Taichi Fukumura, who's coming to us from Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, fun.
And he's a great conductor, but this is a fabulous program. It starts with Leonard Bernstein and ends with Beethoven's probably most favorite symphony, the 7th Symphony, which is just frenetic with energy and joy, and it's a great way to start the season.
Yeah, I love the diversity of what you guys do as far as like the span of music too, because you said after that one comes out, then there's another one that's completely maybe the opposite direction, but equally as fun.
It's completely wacko, actually. It's called If I Could Turn Back Time, the music of the 80s. And for those of us who were alive in the 80s, we remember it very well. But I don't think you'll see big shoulder pads, or maybe you will.
We should, actually. Why don't we put that out as like a dress-up night?
Yes.
This could be great. You'll see me in theme. It's going to happen.
Okay, great.
This is what's happening. It's done.
But anyway, it'll be great music performed by some local celebrities, the people connected to Icon's venue, and we've worked with them many times, and they deliver every single time. And so we're so blessed to work with them, and we can't wait to present this to the audience because it's nothing like Beethoven.
Yeah,
it'll be all of you got music from Whitney Houston, Cyndi Lauper, Cher, and so many others. It's going to be great.
It's a great time. People really do. They get up and they jam too. I brought my kiddo to one of the ones that featured some Star Wars music that we had last season, and that was so fun.
Well, at the end of this season, we should talk about this. At the end of this season, musicians love Star Wars just as much as the rest of us.
Fair enough.
So at the end of this season, we're performing Star Wars, not just the music of, but the entire film, the original film that will be shown above the stage on an enormous screen. From start to finish, we play the entire film, and through the magic of technology, they've removed all the music from the film. And so the music is played live by the orchestra on
Oh my
stage.
gosh. It's wild to watch too, because it is so perfectly timed. And where I was sitting, so I did the Indiana Jones one.
Yes.
And you could see like, okay, how the conductor is following along. And I'm telling you, it looks exhausting and like quite the feat, but it was a fantastic evening.
Well, and some films are easier than others.
Yeah.
Some are this will be very difficult because there's music almost through the entire film. Whereas Indiana Jones, for example, there are moments where there's just no music. I
Yeah.
don't know if you noticed this when
Yeah.
you watch it. But Star Wars, it's nearly
Nonstop.
throughout. Yeah.
Nonstop.
So the musicians will be busy.
Wow.
For sure.
And you guys, you stay busy. I mean, do you get to work here in this building?
No,
No.
we work nearby.
Okay.
But the Philharmonic will perform 45 concerts this year, and of all types, including the free Star Spangled Symphony on the 4th of July.
Okay.
And so all types of people come to hear the Philharmonic, and they like it because it's something totally authentic.
Right.
You can't watch this through a video screen and get the same experience. It's totally authentic. You are feeling the give and take of energy from the stage to the audience, and it's something that you just can't get any other way.
I feel like that's so true. Live music is one of those things that, even if you're not performing, you're experiencing alongside with the musicians, right? Like you're in it
Yes.
at the same time. Well, speaking of which, and music, and all of the upcoming things for the season, you guys are in a search for a new music director, I hear.
We are, and we have been for over a year now. And
Are we whittling it down?
We are. Well, we had 250 applicants.
Oh my gosh.
From all over the world. I
Okay.
mean, nearly every country was represented in this list of applicants, and it's shocking the amount of talent that's out there, and that they're clamoring for the opportunity to conduct our orchestra.
Yeah, you got to get somebody great for us, Nathan.
Yeah. Well, we're working on it.
I mean,
we're working on it.
High
We're working on it.
expectations,
Yeah.
high bar. Do they know what they're applying for?
Yeah.
They have to, you know.
We put them through their paces too, and I like to tell people that this is more like finding a pastor for a church than it is like finding an executive.
Okay.
Right? So it's not just a matter of having an interview, it's a matter of finding out if there's chemistry with the
Gotta have a good fit.
musicians, chemistry with the audience, making sure that it all seems to gel together. And we can't do that without actually bringing them here and seeing them work in rehearsal and in performance with the orchestra. It's essential. We have to do that.
Yeah.
And so it takes a while.
I
And we know
imagine.
that.
I imagine it takes a while, especially because you guys have so many performances. I don't know if you travel. Do you travel also?
We have traveled in the past. We don't.
Okay.
We're not traveling this year because it's so important that we're committed right
Yeah.
here to the
I mean,
people
45
of Colorado
shows.
Springs.
That's-
Yeah.
that's wild
45
to me.
concerts, and that includes kids concerts. And
Okay.
Philharmonic Kids is something we do for school time performances for kiddos who come in on the school buses. They all arrive at once and they fill up the place, and it's
I kind of want to come to
cacophony,
that. I bet it's rowdy.
joy, and it's so rowdy and fun, and we've got great partnerships like the Olympic Museum, who's in partnership with us for that. And
That's so cool.
we can't do it alone. We do it with the school districts. It's a partnership that we all share.
Well, it sounds like you stay plenty busy. And I know we're highlighting a lot of the arts this month because
Yes.
October is
Yes.
the month of arts. Music, obviously, one of the arts.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to the Purple Mountain Group, we get to come out and we get to chat with people from all over the community and what they're doing.
Yes.
But I think it would be really great if we could talk a little bit about what it's like to maybe attend a Philharmonic performance. If you have not, obviously, you need to. Obviously.
It's not something everyone feels that they naturally fit, and I understand that, and I want them to just try it.
Just try it.
Just give it a try, because we understand there are lots of traditions that come into our performances. We ask people to be quiet when we're playing, and that's just part of it. But that also shows respect for the musicians and allows everyone else to enjoy it at the same time. But I think if people come for the first time, what they're going to experience is a feeling of welcome and of just extreme joy from the other audience members and from the musicians. The musicians love to see new audience members. They just love it, especially young people. They love to see them, and even people who maybe don't know all the traditions. That's okay. There's really not a certain way to dress.
Okay.
There's not a certain way to behave at a Philharmonic performance. It's just a matter of coming and enjoying and giving it a try and sort of just opening up your ears, opening up your heart, and seeing what happens.
Well, so we have our season ticket holders, and a lot of us love to come to the Philharmonic for just about everything.
Yep.
So we'll be here consistently. But there's accessible tickets. I just want to talk briefly about the fact that everything from box seats to the top to the bottom, you can find seats to pretty much any show, and in the grand scheme of what an evening out generally costs these days, people might have the wrong impression that like the Philharmonic is something that they can't attend. But you guys do amazing specials and fun things, and that's why I like bringing my kid too, is because like I make him take me on a date. And he's like, what? I'm like, you're taking me to dinner, then you're taking me to music, and we're doing the thing.
I for your viewers, I want to tell them, you will spend more at your restaurant
for sure
than you spend on the tickets to the performance. And we might be the reason you're going out, but you'll spend more on your food and drink than you will on the performance. It is, it's something that's open to everyone. And for kids, we have a program that's called Free for Kids.
Yeah, I didn't know about this. To be fair,
exactly
the first time I didn't.
Like.
I just bought tickets. Yeah. But
Free for Kids is an exceptional offer. If you buy one adult ticket at sort of regular price, you can bring 2 kids for free. And it's just, and that's there's no catch, right? Well, it's for practically every performance, and it's just our way of saying welcome to these important families in our community who might not have experienced this before.
Yeah, I don't think every kid. So mine plays music. He plays violin and he plays drums. But I think, like, even if your kiddo doesn't, it's a really great thing to just like expose them to and see if they enjoy. For mine, I was like, okay, you're coming, so you can see. You know, what you want to aspire to or be inspired in your craft, you know, and that kind of thing.
Or even just try something that you haven't done before.
Yeah.
You've been to the movies, you've been to play mini golf, you've done these things. Maybe you've been to the zoo. All these things are wonderful and you should do them. But maybe you should come try the arts too, and just have a date night out with Dad, right? Have a date night out with Mom. I've done that with my kids, and not just here at the Philharmonic, but it's a really special thing, and you know, it's a time where you can put an arm around the shoulder, you can hold hands during the performance, because there's something about that feeling of relaxation and concentration that really makes people feel like one in a concert. Did you know this? That you can edit this out if you want. But there
probably won't now that you just said that.
But there's actually studies done that say that when people are listening to a performance together, that first of all their heart rates go down, blood pressure lowers, and they start to breathe together.
Oh,
that there is
really?
something about it that people they start to breathe in sync with one another, and it's really something magical. You might not notice it right away, but it is something that you feel. Yeah.
I'll pay attention. And also, if people start to notice that, you might have more demand and you might have to be here like every night of the week, because our stress levels these days.
I know.
We're in a season, man.
Yes.
It's a season. It's a election year. People need to feel united and come together. So this is a great way to do that.
And it's also about unplugging too, because it's not a place where you would naturally be looking at your smartphone or device. You would put it away for that hour that you spend and just be in the moment together. And as you know, parents, we can understand what that's like and what it means to have that kind of quality time.
Yeah. Well, okay, let me shift just a little bit, if I can, to you personally.
Oh.
What brought you out to our Colorado Springs and our Philharmonic? Since you said you won't be on the stage with your saxophone.
I will not.
I don't know, maybe we could like cheer for an encore or something and have you come out one time. What do we have to do to arrange that?
You can cheer for an encore, but it won't be me.
Do we have a donor that's willing to sponsor, to have Nathan come out and play the saxophone?
Okay, I am for sale.
Anything to raise funds,
the price is pretty high. The price is pretty high. No, I don't know why you would want to know about me. I've been working with symphony orchestras since 1998. And in different capacities, and I've been here since 2008.
Okay.
And we came at a very interesting time in the history of our orchestra, which is now 98 years old.
Wow, is that true?
It's true. Yeah, we were started
in 1927. We're
gonna
have a big party in 2 years then, huh?
Yes, we are.
Are you planning now or what?
You just wait. I'm not giving away any spoilers right now.
All right.
But you have to wait and see, because in 2 years we're going to blow the lid off. It's going to be fun. But I started working with symphony orchestras in New York City, and then worked with the Greenwich Village Orchestra and a tiny orchestra in upstate New York, and then one in Texas, and then was invited to come here to Colorado Springs, and it's been the joy of my life.
Well, we're thankful to have you in the community.
Thanks.
The Philharmonic really is so plugged in and so an integral part of Colorado Springs. And I think when you think of the arts in Colorado Springs, like for me, the Philharmonic is at the top of the list and what I think about and what comes to mind.
Well, we have to be in service, though. We're in service to the people of Colorado Springs. That's why we started. That's why we still exist. It's not just to please ourselves and to play music that we think is pretty. It's about actually making a difference for people. And when you're here, hopefully you can feel that. When you talk to our regular audience, they will tell you that.
Yeah.
But we are for Colorado Springs, not just in Colorado Springs.
I love it. Well,
So.
thanks so much for being with me today and
Thank you,
chatting
Lori.
more. If you want to find out more about the Philharmonic, can you give them a website where they can maybe snag some tickets, support what you're doing and all
Of
this
course.
work in the community?
Find out everything at csphilharmonic.org.
Okay. And we'll have arts activities going on all October, so make sure to check those out. And until next time, that's all the time we have, and we'll see you next time on What's Good in Your Neighborhood.